apparently LeVar Ball, of course, he's the dad of the three Ball kids, the freshmen at UCLA, Lonzo, and then the two high school kids,
right,
who will also play at UCLA.
Is it LaMelo and LaAngelo?
LaMelo, yes. I think didn't he have like 92 or something in a game? It's something absurd.
I think so. I saw highlights of one of.
He just stood at half court.
I saw highlights of one of the Ball kids. All he was doing was cherry picking.
Right.
It was ridiculous.
It was all layups.
I understand they're talented, but come on, play a little bit of defense.
But he was talking about being a dad of really good players. Said, I guess he was doing an interview with ESPN. He said the monsters in the NBA, their dads wasn't that good. They were okay. They was players, but the fact that old Del Curry wasn't no all-star, he wasn't cold. He could shoot the ball, though. Kobe Bryant, his dad wasn't all that.
Jelly bean.
That's why he's such a monster. And then he goes on to talk about LeBron. He says, you got LeBron. It's going to be hard for his kids because they're going to look at them like, you just got to be like your dad. And for a while, that pressure starts to sit on you. Why do I got to just be like him?
Right.
Well, LeBron heard about it, and LeBron said, keep my kid's name out of your mouth.
Right.
Well, and I think sense.
He said, keep my family out of your mouth.
By the way, his oldest son already has offers from Duke and Kentucky.
Right.
Yeah,
I think he's like 13 or 14.
Right.
Well, maybe it's an academic offer case.
Well, hey, it's some sort of offer.
I'm pretty sure LeBron's kids are going to be silly, but I do think Lonzo has a point, or whatever the dad's name. LeVar has a point.
Do you think LeVar,
hard to live up to the dad.
A lot of people are killing him.
I like him.
Do you think he's a mad genius? Like, apparently he already has big baller brand.
Yeah.
And they're hawking shirts already.
I think on some level, yeah, he's like Don King. To me, he's almost like Trump. Like, it just... he's a salesman. He's just
he's just keeping his name out there
on ESPN, like the shows, like PTI and Round the Horn.
They're just desperate for any sort of ratings.
He's on the show as a guest because he said he could beat Michael Jordan in one-on-one.
Yeah, he's fun. I actually find him fun. Like I saw that with, or he played Marcellus Wiley in some little cheap little hoop or whatever on Sports Nation or whatever that dumb show is. I found him to be charming. Like I didn't mind him at all. I think he's just talking smack. He's hyping up his kids, and
he's definitely doing all that. But it's starting to get a little bit too much for me. Because now it's every single day.
I understand. Well, they just keep asking him.
I get it.
What's he doing? He's just doing his thing, promoting his boys.
I don't know. He's just getting.
But I think also
he's kind of in the way.
He shouldn't, you shouldn't talk ill of LeBron's kids like they're never going to live up to the dad.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't know.
Shouldn't say something like that.
And there are guys who live up to the dad.
Even
Ken
though he's
Griffey Jr.
Right, but Ken Griffey Sr. wasn't LeBron.
He was
Ken
a good
Griffey
player, though.
He was good, but he wasn't like one
of the best on the planet.
Yeah.
All right, so NBA, we've been talking about this the last few days. This is a big issue in the NBA, the whole resting the player. The NBA is bitter about it, or the commissioner is bitter about it, because TV networks paid $24 billion to the NBA in the latest television contract negotiations. And some of these teams are resting players. Some of the coaches are resting their star players on weekends, on Saturdays where they're having big matchups.
Right, you watch the promos and it says LeBron James, Kyrie Irving.
Right, instead you get Andre Liggins, Elder, guys of that ilk.
LeBron, look, if it wasn't me, no one would be talking about it. He's got a point. Mm-hmm. I mean, when LeBron gets rested, that's a big deal. Mm-hmm. When Curry gets rested, that's a big deal. If it's John Wall and Bradley Beal for a night, no one's really talking about it.
I feel like people have been talking about it since the Spurs started doing it a few years ago, but now other teams are starting to do it. And if you just did a graph of the amount of teams that are doing it, it's gone way up. Ted Leonsis, the owner of the Wizards, chimed in and said, you know what? Give us a national TV game, and I guarantee you our guys are going.
Yeah, yeah, and I believe him.
I think the solution, which I'm cool with, that I've heard people throw out there, is if teams are going to do it and coaches plan for it all season, they should do it at home on non-national TV
Right,
games.
if you only have one shot to see LeBron and LeBron's taking that day off.
True. But if Ted Leonsis was the owner of the Cavs, LeBron doesn't want to play, he's not playing.
Right.
Ted's not making LeBron play.
I get it.
And Karl Malone chimed in, too. He did an interview with ESPN. He said, if you don't have at least 10 years experience, get your ass playing. It's not work, it's playing. And he says, tell our underpaid service members and police and first responders to rest they can't. So some of the older vets, the retired guys, have an issue with it as well.